Thank you so much for being a Patreon member. Here we are today in late January, and I wanted to point something out that's fantastic that is happening in the greenhouse. We have this orange tree that's growing in this pot, and I planted it in a pot that had other things growing in it because I believe that we should have different plant families growing together to help control disease. But what is happening that is fantastic is this alfalfa plant is blasting up here, and it's a good 2 feet tall. If I had a tape measure, we could measure it and see. But it's January. It freezes in here at this time of year a little bit. I do have these lights on because there's the citrus tree here, and I don't want the citrus tree to completely die if it gets too cold. So these lights just stay on to add a few degrees of warmth. And this alfalfa is growing gangbusters. It looks like it's summertime the way this thing is growing. So it's pretty awesome. And the tops of these stems are they're getting really thick right on the top. When that tends to happen, that's about the time they bloom. I don't actually see a blossom on it yet, although I think that's a bud right there, a blossom bud. So this is going to bloom soon. So just imagine if we had a whole bed in here of alfalfa growing. We could grow alfalfa at this time of year. We can eat alfalfa. It has every vitamin known to man, although it doesn't taste good. Most modern people won't eat it because it doesn't taste very good. But it is growing and thriving, and it's growing in this big old pot. This used to be a 55-gallon barrel, and we just cut it in half. The other things we have growing in here are garlic. The garlic bulbs are coming up, so that you can see those spears that look like maybe like a big wide grass or a corn stalk. Those are garlic, and there's dandelions growing, and there's a few grasses growing, and then it looks like maybe that's a clary sage right here. And so who knows what's growing in here? All kinds of good things. But I'm pretty sure we have 4 plant families in there because we have a citrus tree, we have alfalfa, we have garlic, we have dandelion, and then we have that clary sage. I don't think any of those are in the same plant family. And then there's other grass in there. So maybe that 6 plant families growing in this pot, which is going to create absolutely fantastic soil conditions for the health of these for all of the plants in here. So why grow alfalfa? Alfalfa is one of the best foods for earthworms. Alfalfa is a fantastic food for livestock. If you had a milk cow, you could be cutting some feed in here every day, and then it's growing back. So this is incredible because I think we could grow alfalfa 12 months a year. We could probably be getting one cutting every 2 months, so every 8 to 9 weeks in the winter, and then in the summer we're getting a cutting almost every month, which is it's pretty awesome to see this happen. I mean, and I didn't even try to do this. I planted the alfalfa here on purpose. I transplanted this. It's alfalfa that I grew from seed, and then I transplanted it in here. But it's wonderful because it's doing so well. This gives me encouragement. If a person has chickens for laying eggs, alfalfa is wonderful. Those chickens love that. So there's so many livestock you can feed with the alfalfa. It feeds the soil. It helps the other plants to grow good. So it's pretty fantastic and wonderful. Now, as you look at the orange tree, you can see it doesn't look very good because some of these leaves on the top here have frozen. So if we're going to actually try to seriously grow citrus in here, we're going to need to get a better heat source. But this greenhouse is not meant to have a heat source. We just want it to grow without heat. So I'm learning which things will grow and which won't. And we've got down to minus 15, minus 18 degrees here this winter. And that's when we had the really cold nights that did some frost damage in here. So hopefully this helps you to grow alfalfa in your garden.